Welcome to the objective review of the latest Marvel movie, Venom. And in the objective review, I like to break a movie down into 6 categories and assign weight to them depending on the genre. So let's start off with story. With superhero movies, I assign a 40% weight to story, and in the story of Venom, it follows Eddie Brock, who is a fairly famous investigative reporter who ends up ruining his whole life. He ruins it by interviewing and asking really hard questions to this guy called Drake, who's kind of the Elon Musk of this universe. And his goal, I guess, in life is to go out into space and find inhabitable places for humans to live because, of course, Earth's resources are running out. And he wants to bring back symbiotes to fuse with humans so that humans can live on other planets. So he does bring back, I think, about 4 symbiotes, or symbiotes, and one of them breaks out and they end up fusing with Eddie Brock. Now, Eddie already doesn't like Drake because Drake does some shady stuff. People might be dying under him. So really, now this symbiote and Venom wants to come together and take down Drake for some reason. And that's pretty much the whole story. The thing I don't like about the story has really clunky dialogue. Like, most times it's just exposition that I don't think this is the way characters would be talking. Like, sometimes Venom just tells his weaknesses to people for some reason. Don't know why. And at one point, Venom has like this change of heart, and he says this because of this one person, but I feel like I never saw that one person do anything inspiring enough to really change Venom's view on the world. And Eddie Brock is kind of just, really I feel like he's just going along for the ride, and things feel really disheveled. The story, really there's nothing to it. So I give this a 6.5 out of 10. And that's on to emotion. Emotion assigned 25% weight, and there's pretty much 0 emotion in this movie. Maybe I try to do a little bit with Eddie's girlfriend, but it falls really flat. And Eddie is so cheesy. I feel like Tom Hardy plays him really cheesy that I can't take it seriously at all. And no one else really does anything at all emotional in this movie. You know, this is a fairly flat movie, but it's not offensively flat. So I'll give that a 6 out of 10. And that is on to action. And this is probably a disappointing aspect of the movie. I'm not signing 20% away for superhero movies. The action in Venom was really incoherent, and I didn't know what was going on a lot of times. The car chase scene just seemed like it was just a bunch of cars just ramming into each other with no real clear direction in sight. There was a Venom versus another symbiote scene which I could not discern who was who. It was so bad that something happens in the fight scene and then it gets undone, and when it gets undone, I thought to myself, oh, I didn't even know that was happening in the first place. I did enjoy one of Venom's first fight scenes against the SWAT team. That was really cool. Just visually, I think that was good. Just the tear gas and the smoke gas and him just kind of shadows picking them apart. But besides that, I thought the action was really subpar and really hard to follow and understand. So I give that 6.5 out of 10. And that's on comedy. I assign a 5% weight. And this movie has chuckle moments. Sometimes I laugh, and I don't think I was supposed to laugh, and that's not really that good. But hey, I still chuckled like 5 or 6 times. And actually, Venom made me chuckle a couple times. But for comedy, I give it a 7 out of 10. And that's on acting, where I assign a 50% weight, and the acting in this movie is really cheesy. Tom Hardy, he's a fantastic actor, but I think he purposely hams it up a little bit. And he has this accent, and I really hate this accent he's talking in. For some reason, he's just, I think because of the cheesiness with the accent, it just makes it even worse, because usually he's pretty good at doing the accent. I did like Riz Ahmed in this movie, mostly because he feels like a believable character to a certain extent, even though he's kind of cliche. He turns kind of into a cliche mustache twirling villain, but I still at least got his point, and I really liked his kind of subdueness with his acting. So I thought that was good. Everyone else was pretty kind of mediocre. So for acting, I give it a 7 out of 10. On to directing, where I signed a 50% weight, and this is where the movie does the worst at. The pacing is fine, but cinematography wise, there's nothing special at all about this movie. There are just a lot of close-up shots when it comes to action. It makes it hard to follow. The CGI, I think, is not done well. Everything just looks really glossy, and you can't discern things from other things. I think he should have made some creative choices to really maybe change the color of the symbiotes, make Venom a really dark black, and make other ones just a very contrast color to it, just so you can visually see what's going on. In this show, Avatar: Last Airbender, they kind of do that with firebending. There's a character who, I mean, they knew that it'll be in a big firebending fight. So one character has a blue fire, one character has red fire. It just makes it really easy to follow along. And the score in this was really just, it was just weird. And it was kind of just a lot of rock music here and there that didn't seem like it really fit in. And so I think the directing wasn't done all that well. So for directing, I give that a 6 out of 10. So that brings us to our average score of a 6.4 out of 10. It's probably one of the worst. It's probably in the lower 30 percentile of superhero movies. Since before, it's not a good score. It's funny because comparing this to Spider-Man 3 Venom, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily worse or necessarily better. It's just different. And different is fine. I had an enjoyable enough time watching this movie. The one thing I did love about this movie is the 5-minute after credit scene about Spider-Man into Spider-Verse. Really looking forward to that. So that's it. I'm out.